Hello. Welcome to my video. Today's video is going to be an experiment. The experiment for today is about the genetic algorithm. Now let's have a short introduction of the genetic algorithm. Genetic algorithm is a search heuristic inspired by the theory of natural evolution. This algorithm reflects the process of natural selection where it is more likely to choose the one with higher score as the parents, in order to produce better result for the next generation. After few days of research in genetic algorithm, I realized that it can only be used to solve a fixed problem that has a proper solution, in order to calculate the score. It could be used to generate paths, pictures, sentences, etc. So, today, I'm going to generate some car. I was inspired by a website called Boxcar 2D, a game that used genetic algorithm to generate and test cars. I decided to make a similar project, hope it would be fun to watch. To implement genetic algorithm, we need to create an DNA that can stores all the data of a car. In this case, my DNA is just 16 float numbers, 8 for the length of the distance from center point to the vertices of octagon, 8 for the index of 4 car wheels and its radius, and a few functions. A crossover function to mix the DNA between two cars, a fitness function to calculate the scores of each car, a mutate function to randomize the data with small chances.
Much later.
Finally, the implementation is done. Let's start the first test. I put 50 DNAs and given 15 seconds to test for each generations, and the further they run from the starting point the higher score they get, which mean they are more likely to be chosen as the parents of the next generation. And every time a generation tested, it replays the best car of the current generation. After launching for a while, I realized that good parents doesn't always have good children, sometimes they have bad children, like you. So, I used a method called elitism. What it does is to always send a number of cars with the top scores to the next generation, to make sure the next generation only gets better. And now let's get into the second test.
Later. Much later.
It seems like it reached the limit. All the cars look similar, and the cars are too floaty. I increased the mutation rate and adjusted the mass and the motor power of the car. and also avoid choosing the same parent for a child. Let's see if it gets more interesting.
Two 2,000 years later.
Wow, the final car seems to be so predictable. End of the video. The genetic algorithm experiment are way more boring than I thought. I was hoping something like but it turns out generates a car that almost same like the car that already existed in the best car page on Carbox 2D. Lastly, let's end the video with some buggy cars test.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.